Welcome to the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast, connecting real people with expert advice to achieve a healthier lifestyle and live a more fulfilling and abundant life. Here is your host, Coach Tavia.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast. Again, your host, Tavia, Health Coach Tavia here. You guys know me. You know me by now. If you haven't, you need to go back and listen to some more. So today I'm excited. I always like to bring you guys exciteful, amazing, upcoming information, different things that are out there, right? So today, this is a real treat for you all. I have a gal with me that's going to talk a little bit about her company, and she's a founder of the company called Energy Bits. And on the line with me today, I have Miss Catharine Arnston. Hello, Catharine.
Hello, Tavia.
Hello. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And to the listeners out there today, you're going to share a ton of information about what Energy Bits is, how it came about. And guys, why am I talking about this today? Well, because like I posted today in IG, if you go back and see my IG today is, what is today? I don't know. 17th of June. I posted today a little bit about, I always like to share the good with you all. There's so many things out there that you may not know about. And there's times when people are just at their, they're lost hope and they don't know where else to turn or what else to do. And not everything is at your doctor's office. There's a lot of things out there that can help you. So that feeds into what we're talking about today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Miss Catharine here and who she is and all of that good stuff. So she is actually the founder, like I said, of Energy Bits. And it was Boston. It said Boston's Energy Bits Inc. was founded. Boston is
yes,
that because
I'm Canadian, but I live in Boston, and we sell. I don't know if people know yet, but we sell algae in tiny tablets. Yeah.
Okay, algae and tiny tablets. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So it was founded in 2010 by Miss Catharine. She grew up in Canada, like she says, but she's currently living in New York City. Is that correct?
Boston.
Or Boston. I'm sorry, Boston, not New York City. So she holds an MBA from Western Ivy School of Business. She has a BA in Urban Planning from Queen's University, Arts Management Certificate from the Banff School of Fine Arts, is a board-certified health counselor from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition in the State University of New York, and a Reiki master. That's exciting. I love Reiki. For 35 years, Catharine has been a senior marketing executive, magazine publisher, and international attaché for the, did I say that right?
Attaché
for the Canadian and British governments, and founder of 3 startups. Wow. This woman, she's amazing. She loves introducing algae to everyone she meets and can't imagine life without Energy Bits for hunger, energy, and focus. They also have something for beauty, ladies, Beauty Bits for skin, and also Recovery Bits for immune health and detox. So she is living proof that algae is a game changer for your health. And we are going to talk about that right now. So again, welcome.
Thank you.
So without further ado, there's so much of where we can start with, right? But let's just start off with telling me a little bit about the background of Energy Bits, how this came into your life.
Yes. Well, you think someone who's focused on algae, I didn't wake up one day as a 10-year-old saying, I want to be an algae expert. I had my own corporate career, 25-year corporate career doing international business, and was enjoying it. And then out of the blue, 13 years ago, my younger sister in Canada developed breast cancer. She's fine now. I just want to assure everybody.
Good.
And as she was preparing for her chemotherapy, her oncologist, which is a cancer specialist, advised her to change her diet to an alkaline diet because it would help with her healing. Now, they didn't tell her what an alkaline diet was or why it was good for her. So the first thing she did was, when she got home, was call me, because of course I'm her big sister who loves her. And I just am a very good researcher. I can find out just about anything. So I said, I have no idea what this alkaline diet stuff is. But I will find out. And I did. And it turned out to be primarily a plant-based diet.
Yep.
Because of the chlorophyll and the phytonutrients that have been scientifically proven to build your immune system. And her oncologist wanted her to have the strongest immune system while she was going through chemo, because it, crushes everything.
Absolutely.
So she did change her diet. She got rid of all the acidic foods like dairy and sugar and processed foods and animal protein, and went through chemo, and she completely healed. Like I said, she's 12 years now cancer-free. So in the process of helping her, I had to read a lot of books and do a lot of digging around. And again, this was 12, 13 years ago. And and nobody was talking about plant-based nutrition. I thought, man, this stuff is pretty powerful. Somebody needs to tell the rest of the world. So I'm just a person of action. I thought, I have no idea how I'll do it or what I'll do, but I'm going to try. So I gave up my 25-year corporate career. I thought, I need some sort of education. So I enrolled in the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York. That's when the classes were still live, also known as IIN.
Yes.
And I graduated in July of 2009. And I thought, okay, now what? So I thought, okay, well, I've learned all this great stuff. Why don't I teach plant-based nutrition? So I put a curriculum together, and I taught my curriculum for free at hospitals, corporations, basically anybody who would let me in. And this is truly what led me to algae in a big way, because as I was teaching people the importance of vegetables, I realized I wasn't telling them anything new. Their mothers have been telling them and us since we were kids to eat more vegetables, right?
Right.
So what I did learn was that even though they knew what they should do, they weren't. And why? Because there were so many obstacles. Maybe they didn't live near a grocery store. Maybe they were too heavy to carry home. They took a lot of room in your fridge, a lot of time to clean, to cook, to eat. Their kids wouldn't eat them. Their husbands wouldn't eat them. So endless reasons why people were not able to get access to this very powerful, healing, plant-based nutrition. So that, okay, I'm going to find a way to get this plant-based nutrition into them. I don't know. That's easy and fast. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. So back to the drawing board, I looked at everything I'd found for my sister, and nothing was working. Then boom, I got to algae. And it turns out it was like Alice in Wonderland falling down the rabbit hole. Turns out algae is the most alkaline food in the world, which is what got me started on this. It's also the most nutrient-dense food in the world. We have a quote from NASA that says 1 gram of algae has the same nutrition as 1,000 grams of vegetables. 1 to 1,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that's unbelievable. Yes. And as you're going to find out, we sell our algae in tiny tablets. That are about the size of a baby aspirin. And each one of these tablets has the same nutrition as a heaping plate of vegetables that, drum roll, you didn't have to cook, clean, or eat. But anyways, back to the story. So most nutrient-dense food in the world, according to NASA, that has the highest concentration of protein in the world. Yes. Algae has 3 times the amount of protein as steak, chicken, seafood, and it's been endorsed by the United Nations since 1974 as the answer to world hunger because it has so much protein and is a sustainable crop. So and it's got 100,000 studies documenting, 60,000 on spirulina, about 40,000 on chlorella. So it's endorsed by the scientific community. It's studied by the scientific community. It's endorsed by international organizations like NASA and the United Nations. And it's been used for centuries, most notably in Asia, particularly in Japan, where they take it every day. They don't take vitamins in Japan. They take chlorella algae because, and by the way, the Japanese have the lowest cancer rates, the longest longevity, and great skin and hair. So I thought, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry in Asia. I'm going to show you a picture of an algae farm. Oops, can't see that. So here's the thing. Algae is a food crop. It is not a supplement. It is no different than kale or broccoli. It's grown in fresh water, and then we air dry it, and then we press it into these little tiny tablets. So I just want to show you this picture, which I just turned off my background. Here's an algae farm. Okay. They're huge. They're like 10 times the size of a football stadium. But it's so important that you understand that this is food, because your health and your body will be so much better with food. Supplements are made from extracts with using high heat in manufacturing processes, and your body can't recognize most supplements or the nutrients in them. So you're just wasting your money. You want food. But the problem is our soils are so depleted, and our vegetables are being imported from so far away that even when you eat vegetables, there's virtually no nutrition in them anymore, not like 50 years ago. So you're getting all these calories and fiber, but not the nutrients. So with all this information that it's endorsed, been studied, been used, and the only problem with algae, it seems, is that nobody knew about it in North America. And the quality had been poor because it mostly had come from China, where they don't have a lot of very high standards when it comes to algae. So I thought, okay, I've seen what this stuff does. I've read about it. I'm going to spend the rest of my life teaching people in North America about algae, and I'm going to make it safe and pure and toxin-free, and I'm going to package it in a way that makes it really attractive so that they won't think it's weird pond scum.
It's very pretty packaging.
Yeah. And, it's taken me 11 years to get to this point.
Beautiful.
And I was on Shark Tank, and I've redesigned.
I thought you were on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Did anyone buy? Did anyone?
No, they didn't invest. I actually didn't want their money, which is fine. But I did want to get on TV, and I did. And they've my segment like 25 times. You can still download it on demand. So I get stopped at airports, conferences. People always recognize me because I've got these big glasses. But it was a good experience. But they laughed at me, and I knew they would. But that's okay. I'll have the last laugh, because algae is the easiest way, at least ours, is the easiest, safest, fastest, purest way to get nutrition into your body, your children's bodies, your pets, without any work at all. If you can swallow water, you can get all the nutrition that you need every day in seconds. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was what I needed to do, because I found people wanted to be healthy, but they didn't have the time. So there you go. And so algae will do it for you, and it's documented, and trust me, it works. I take it every single day myself.
Wow. Okay. So awesome. I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at your packaging, and I'm looking over, you have several different, I have them in my hands here. You sent me some little trials here. You have some for focus, fitness, energy. You have some for beauty. You have some detox wellness. You have the wellness vitality. So is algae all the same, or why is there 4 different? That's something I'm kind of interested in talking about. Yeah.
Great question. So let me back up a little bit. First of all, algae was the first life on Earth almost 4 billion years ago. And there's fossils to prove that. Before algae, Earth was just gas and water. Nothing lived. Right. I have no idea why algae started growing, but it did, and it releases oxygen. Algae is responsible for 80% of the oxygen on Earth. So after about 1 billion years, it started releasing enough oxygen, and then more life forms started, and blah, blah, blah. So fast forward to today, there are 2 main categories of algae. One is called macroalgae, and the other one is microalgae. We're talking about microalgae, but let me tell you what macroalgae is first. So macroalgae is seaweed, kelp, dulse. It's that big stringy stuff that washes up on shore. Now, it's also important for you because it has a lot of fiber, and it has iodine because it comes from the ocean, but it's virtually zero nutrition. Zero. It's great to make dishes with algae because it gives you fiber. If you're making, instead of pasta, you can use the kelp noodles. Mm-hmm. It's great for that reason, but no nutrition. Microalgae is what we're talking about. And it's called microalgae because it's microscopic in size. Something like 100 cells of microalgae could fit on the head of a pin. And it is everywhere. It's in the oceans, the lakes, the soil, your swimming pool, your aquarium. It's everywhere. But the only kind that are consumable safely by humans are the 2 that we sell and that you would buy anywhere, whether it's, a wholesale club or Target or GNC. These 2 are grown as crops in fresh water. And the 2 are spirulina, which is a blue-green algae. And it's called blue-green because it has 2 pigments in it. And the other one is chlorella, which is a green algae. Now, I mention this because there are thousands and thousands of strains of other blue and blue-green algae. And if you go online and you read about a toxic blue-green algae, yes, it's because I can promise you it's from the ocean. Anything that's in the ocean or rivers or lakes or streams is poisonous to humans. So I'm going to show you, but not the 2 because these are grown in fresh water. The darker one is beautiful. Spirulina, and this one is chlorella, which is just so spirulina is, as I said, blue-green algae because it has two pigments in it, and it's known for providing energy. It gives you the energy because, first of all, it has the highest concentration of protein in the world, and all the protein's already in amino acid form. When you eat protein, your body can't absorb it as protein. It has to break it down into what's called amino acids. Now, both of the algae have all of the 18 of the 20 aminos, all the ones that your body cannot make. So it's a complete protein. And here's the other cool thing. Spirulina is technically a bacteria. It has no cellulose wall. Why is that important? Because it allows your body to absorb all the nutrients, including the protein, instantly. There is nothing for it to break down. We used to, when we first started, we were actually a sports nutrition company because all the runners and triathletes discovered the spirulina, which gave them physical energy. And here's the other cool thing about spirulina. It gives you mental energy as well. Focus, improves your mood. And it's partly because of the high protein, but also because it's loaded with essential fatty acids like omega-3, boron, which helps with your brain thought. It's unbelievable. So that's spirulina, but it also, so when I first started, we had just the energy bits, which was and we called it energy bits because we wanted people to understand that it gave you energy. But we found out that women actually didn't like the packaging. And so because I started, because of my sister, I thought, well, it also, because there's high protein and high antioxidants, it also builds your skin and hair. Your hair will grow faster, thicker.
That.
You can use this instead of collagen. It has all the same protein,
ooh, ladies,
collagen, and by the way, it's what do you call it? Sustainable collagen.
Sustainable.
Most people know that collagen is made with crushed bones, so nothing sustainable about that. So to make the ladies happy, and because it does the trick for your skin and your hair, I created a second spirulina and called it Beauty Bits.
Gotcha.
So Beauty Bits and Energy Bits are absolutely identical, but we find that, people who are looking for energy at work or sports are attracted to this one. And both of them satisfy your hunger. Both have 1 calorie per tablet. Both are loaded with high 64% protein, again, 3 times the amount of steak, and both have 40 vitamins and minerals. So they give you the same benefits, but spirulina is an energizing, nourishing, hunger satisfying algae. That's what you need to understand. It's all about hunger, and people use it for intermittent fasting. It's ketogenic, it's vegan, no toxins, no whatever. So that's spirulina, but we have 2 brands. Okay.
Gotcha.
The other algae is chlorella, which is a green algae. And it will not satisfy your hunger so much, and it will not give you energy. But so what it does is it has, remember I said spirulina has the highest protein in the world?
Yeah.
Chlorella has the highest chlorophyll in the world. Chlorophyll is very cleansing. This is why my sister's doctor wanted her to get into the plant-based nutrition because of the chlorophyll, which builds your immune system. And remember how I said spirulina has no hard cellulose wall or any cellulose wall, which is why it gets absorbed so quickly?
Yes.
Well, chlorella, just to be different, I guess, has the hardest cell wall in the plant kingdom. And why is that important? That hard cell wall attaches to toxins. It chelates them. It pulls them out. Yes. Anything from like lead, mercury,
metals,
radiation, metals, aluminum, by the way, which are in vaccines. The United Nations used it at Chernobyl to pull out radiation after the Chernobyl incident. We work with biological dentists who use it to pull out mercury after people have had their fillings taken out.
Nice.
You'll love this. One of the other toxins that identifies is alcohol. So if you go a couple of glasses of wine, a couple of cocktails, I mean, now that the bars are starting to open, people need a bit of a celebration, but there's no reason why you need to feel crappy the next morning. So chlorella will identify the alcohol, doesn't matter what you had, as a toxin and pull it out. You will be stone sober in an hour and a half, and you will never have a hangover. So don't take it before you drink unless you're going to like a wine tasting and you don't want to get drunk. Take it after you've finished. The other cool thing about chlorella is that it identifies lactic acid as a toxin. So athletes love to take it after their workout because it will pull out the lactic acid so their muscles aren't sore. We fuel 5 NHL teams, probably 6 by now.
Really?
Yeah, Detroit Red Wings have worked with us for 6 years.
All right.
I don't know all of them. I think the Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, a lot of their nutritionists and actually individual players. So they put the spirulina in their smoothie before a game to give them lots of energy on the ice. And they put the chlorella in like 75 tablets, by the way. So you don't have to take that many. Even if you had 4 or 5 a day, you would get some benefits. But they put the chlorella in their smoothie after the game to pull out lactic acid. So chlorella is a wellness algae. Now, not only is it loaded with well, I did mention that it's loaded with chlorophyll, but I want to show you something that's really cool.
Okay.
Chlorophyll is not understood very well. And it is so critical because most people are short of chlorophyll. And the reason is our soils are so nutrient deprived and our ozone layer is so damaged that plants don't have the same nutrients or chlorophyll that they used to have. So you can eat as much arugula as you want, but you're never going to get your daily requirement of chlorophyll. Algae is really the only place where you can get concentrated chlorophyll. Chlorella has 1,000 times more chlorophyll than Chinese greens. It has 400 times more, 500 times more than arugula. It even has more than liquid chlorophyll. So trust me, and we've got all the science to show this. But here's why chlorophyll, one of the many reasons why chlorophyll is so important. I'm showing a picture that shows the chemical composition of your hemoglobin, which is your red blood cells, and the chemical composition of chlorophyll. And for those who are watching on YouTube or wherever, you'll see that they are identical.
Amazing.
Except your blood has an iron atom in the middle, which is what carries oxygen.
Right.
Has magnesium in the middle. This is why one of the many reasons why chlorophyll is so important. It builds your blood. Now, if you have healthy blood, you're going to have a healthy body. You're going to have a healthy immune system. You're going to have healthy everything.
Absolutely.
Because your blood is the vessel that carries nutrients and oxygen to your body. And if you don't have the nutrients and you don't have the healthy blood, nothing works very well. So chlorella has the most chlorophyll in the entire universe. So it's very important. And by the way, they used chlorophyll for thousands of years, even up until World War II, to heal people. When they ran out of blood for transfusions during World War II, they would give the injured liquid chlorophyll, and they would heal just as fast as if they'd had a blood transfusion. So that's why I want people to be taking chlorella, because you're going to get not only all the other nutrients and you're going to get rid of toxins, you're going to get all the chlorophyll that your body needs. And the doctors during COVID identified about 12 different nutrients that your body needs, your immune system needs to be strong, to protect you from any kind of pathogen, including COVID. And they're all in the chlorella. So it makes it really easy. You don't have to run out and buy 1,000 different supplements or start cooking different things. Just take the chlorella. Now, because it's a wellness algae and pulls out toxins and builds your immune system, I don't know if people know this, but when you sleep, when you're in a deep sleep, that's when your body goes through a detox and repair cycle.
Right.
So if you take chlorella before you go to bed, and I wouldn't imagine going to bed without my chlorella, when you're asleep and you're enjoying your beautiful sleep, the chlorella facilitates a better detox, of faster repair than if otherwise. So it's a very, very healing to take it at night. I mean, you could take it any time of day, and I eat it all day long. I just had some, my tongue's probably green, but definitely take it before bed. The other reason why it's a healing algae is because it has what's called vitamin K2, which is a relatively new vitamin that discovered about 25 years ago, which pulls out excess calcium.
Yes.
You may not know much about this, but excess calcium lodges in soft tissue, like your blood vessels, your skin, your organs. They're realizing a lot of heart disease is, which is calcification. They have arteriosclerosis is calcification of your blood vessels. Right. So chlorella will pull out that excess calcium to help prevent heart disease. It pulls out excess calcium in your skin, because excess calcium will damage your elastin. Elastin is like the scaffolding that holds your skin up. And when it gets damaged, it collapses, and that causes wrinkles. For those of you who are watching, I don't have any wrinkles. And I don't do any Botox or anything. And I'm almost 65. So
I would have never guessed that, by the way.
Yeah. Most people think I'm late 30s, early 40s.
Yes.
Nope. I'm midway in my 65. You know, I'm going to be.
Never would have guessed. People that are
me
listening to this, you would never. You got it. Yeah.
So I tell you, the reason I get so excited is I know this stuff works because I take it every day, and I look younger now than I did 10 years ago. So the chlorella has the K2 in it that pulls out the soft tissue. Chlorella also has the highest amount of tryptophan in the world. Tryptophan is a precursor to both melatonin and serotonin. Melatonin is what helps you sleep, and serotonin is your happy neurotransmitter. So now you can go to bed, have a better sleep, wake up happy. And chlorella is also it stimulates peristalsis, also known as, drumroll, your bowel movements.
Yes.
So anybody who's on keto, or very often if you're on a low, if you're not eating much, if you're on a weight loss program, or you just don't eat many vegetables, this is a great way to facilitate the bowel movements, because you've got to get rid of those the stuff that your body doesn't need.
Right.
And I can't take any of those psyllium husk things because it upsets my stomach. So a lot of us, as we get older, we don't have the enzymes, and we can't, fibers is a problem for us. So the chlorella has a small amount of fiber, but not enough to cause any issues, but it definitely helps you with your bowel movements and your trips to the bathroom. So most people take the spirulina in the morning when they're hungry, or
that was my next question.
To start the day. You could take as few as
in the morning.
3 or 4, or take 5 or 10. Remember, there's only 1 calorie per tablet, 0 carbs. So if you're ketogenic or doing intermittent fasting, it does not interfere with your intermittent fasting.
Okay.
It balances your blood sugar. In fact, we were delighted to be invited to be part of a movie that's coming out probably any day now called Reversed.
What?
Yeah, what it was is they took a bunch of people that had diabetes and flew them to Costa Rica and fed them a keto diet, our algae, and put them through a fitness routine, and they all reversed their diabetes. So it just goes to show you that you can make significant changes in your body's health if you are providing it what it needs.
Absolutely.
So that's chlorella. We call ours recovery bits because you recover from your day, you recover from illness, you recover from drinking, recover from sports. And we encourage people, if you can, to take them separately, because if you want energy, you got spirulina is the one to do it. If you want to build your skin and hair, spirulina is the best one for that. If you're looking just for health and wellness and detox, that's chlorella. But if you can only buy one thing, that's why our 4th product is called Vitality Bits. And it's a blend of the 2 algae. And the reason why a lot of people get this one is because they just want simplicity. They don't want to, they have a pretty regular routine, and they just want to minimize all the clutter. Because, by the way, either any of these algae will replace virtually all of your supplements. Yes, it's true. You can get rid of your multivitamin, your CoQ10 with spirulina. You can get rid of your calcium, magnesium, potassium, because it's got 40 vitamins and minerals, and it's all food-based. Spirulina also will replace sports nutrition, snacks, not so much chlorella, but and chlorella for sure, and sort of spirulina as well, will replace your need for greens or vegetables. And anybody who has kids knows how difficult it is to get them to eat vegetables. Well, problem solved. You don't have to worry anymore. Just give them a few of these and a day, and you're done. The spirulina doesn't taste very good, I will say. It's very chewy and very earthy, so almost everybody swallows spirulina or puts it in a smoothie. But the chlorella is very dry and tastes more like a soy nut. And so if you eat it with sea salt or almonds or macadamia nuts, they're the best. It's more like a snack. And now it's still very green, but I eat mine all day long. So I just want to let you know that, you can't eat supplements, but you can eat algae because it's not a supplement. It's
right.
It's like a garnish on your salad. You can put it with your trail mix. Seriously, it's the most amazing food in the world, and I'm just so honored to be telling people about it.
Yeah.
And I remind people that algae isn't new; it's just new to you. And think about it. 10 years ago, we didn't know about chia or matcha or kiwa. Recently, thanks to Vital Proteins, we've learned about collagen, but up until they got on the collagen trail, really nobody knew about collagen.
No.
But I'd like to point out that algae offers all the same benefits of collagen plus about 100 more because it has the chlorophyll and has 40 other vitamins, minerals, and it's sustainable. There's nothing sustainable about collagen. I'm really sorry. So it's pretty cool to be able to be sharing what I know. And this is just a teeny tiny drop in the bucket because I've got 11 years of under my belt.
No, this is fabulous. So I do have some questions that have popped up since you've been sharing. Thank you. So this is just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited now to get started on this myself. So I have the bits in front of me. So they are bits and there's no powder. It's only in the bit form. Is that correct? Yes. In the bit form. Okay.
But you can grind it up in a coffee grinder. And
I was wondering about that.
And by the way, I want people to know why we call them bits.
Yes. That was my next question.
Bits of nutrition.
Yes.
Bits of food. So it's there, and they're cute. They're tiny little teeny.
And these are,
yeah. Sorry.
They're great for traveling.
Yes, the single servings are fantastic for traveling. And this is how they take it in Asia. I mean, there is powder there, but as a small company, I had to make a choice because I couldn't inventory everything. And you can still get it in a powder form if you grind it up. And this way, when you're traveling, you're in the office, you're stuck in traffic, and you're hungry, and you don't want to eat carbs. If you carry some of these single servings, we sell them online on Amazon. They're only $4 each, and there's 30 tablets in one of these little single servings. Right. So, I mean, that could, if you had 10, that's like a mini meal. So there's 3 meals right there for $4.
Amazing.
Right.
I was curious, where do you source this algae from?
Yes. Great question. Well, algae, 99.9% of algae is grown in Asia. So that's Japan, Taiwan, China, India. And I spent almost 2 years researching all of the countries. And because algae is a bit like wine, you can have a Sauvignon Blanc from New Zealand and a Sauvignon Blanc from California, and they completely taste different because of the for wine, it's the soil and the whatever. Algae is the same way. I know it's grown in water, but the elevation and the sunlight and how clean the water is. The company I selected in Taiwan. First of all, Taiwan is world renowned for having the highest quality algae, number one, and the highest standards for certification purposes, number two. So, and then the company that I selected to grow ours for us has been doing it for 50 years, and they grow it in triple filtered spring mountain water. And the reason why this is so important is because algae will absorb whatever's in the water. Remember I said, don't take any algae from the ocean because it's poisonous, partly because whatever's in the ocean is going to be absorbed by the algae. Right. So ours is very, very clean. Second of all, because I started this to help my sister and then to help other people, so we're not like a profit-driven kind of company. Like, you go to Target or GNC, they've been selling algae for 50 years too, but I can promise you it all is grown in China, and they use high heat to dry it because they need to get to market quickly because they're a low-cost, low-quality product. I chose not to go that route, and we don't use high heat when we dry our algae because it kills the enzymes. And anybody who nutrition knows you need enzymes for lots of processes in your body and for digestion. Right. So our algae is still a raw food. In fact, spirulina is a live food because there's no high heat. And then the other thing is that a lot of companies, you can buy algae in capsules. And I saw pictures of things where they were filled with, ground rocks. And I just didn't want that. So ours, we use no binders, no fillers, nothing. It's 100%. All we do is we press them into these little tablets. The analogy I make is sort of like little muffin tins, just, press the water out and they stick together without anything. And then we package them in 99% UV protected rays. So that the sunlight doesn't pull the chlorophyll out. And then, and we package them here in the United States at what's called a clean facility. It's FDA approved. And we are the only company I know that does third-party lab tests here in the US at an FDA approved lab. Like almost everybody else just gets tests from the suppliers, but you never really know what's really going on with those tests. And we sell through doctors nationwide. And so we have to assure them that there are no toxins in the algae and that the nutrients that we say are in there are indeed there. So I'm very proud of that. It costs us tens of thousands of dollars every year to do that, but that's won us a lot of support from the medical community, functional medicine, keto scientists, nutritionists. So we're known for having the highest quality, purest algae, and we're also known for being the only company that's teaching people about algae and sharing the science, because the science has been around for centuries.
Right.
Except scientists like to talk to other scientists. They have, PhD garbled jargon, whatever. And I didn't come from a science background, but I backed into it and I have a bit of a science mind. So
Sure.
I've read thousands of these articles and I rewrite them. Some of them are, either in blog format or just articles so that people can understand what it is and what they do without jargon. So I'm very happy to share all that, my knowledge with you, that we do the heavy lifting so that you can see we're telling you the truth.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about science. I want to go back to that. When we first started just a few minutes ago, and this was pre-recording, and we talked about Lyme disease. And I mentioned Lyme disease. So for listeners out there that have like certain conditions like Lyme or fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, MS, a lot of Hashimoto, a lot of autoimmune conditions out there right now. I know we can't put a medical claim on anything, and that's not what I'm looking for. But you'd mentioned, stop taking or you could potentially stop taking your supplements. Obviously, we're not recommending that. Talk to your doctor. I did want to point that out to our listeners, but this is something that you could work in conjunction with your current protocol, correct?
Yes.
And I noticed you have this wholesale program, like you said, for a doctor. So my gosh, try it for yourself, introduce it to your doctor. Maybe your doctor would love to get on board with this too. But I wanted to touch real quick. You said about the Lyme disease for me, and I'm just curious. I do have a lot of Lyme people too. So have you had seen some good successes with this?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting protocol. We stumbled across it because somebody I know, was using our chlorella and she had Lyme. And apparently, when you use physician grade stevia in tinctures, and there's a company that we're not affiliated with them in any way. They're in New Hampshire called Misty Meadows. Okay. And so the tinctures, for whatever reason, kill the mites, but then you need to take the chlorella to pull the dead mites out, because if they gather in your body, you'll get even sicker because they will release toxins while they're gathering there. And this seems to work. So
interesting.
Yeah. God bless Mother Nature. I mean, here we have stevia and chlorella, both were gifted to us by Mother Nature. Yeah. So I would encourage people. Now, Misty Meadows does have a protocol for Lyme, but they separately sell just the tinctures. And we've had more success with people just getting the tinctures and then using the chlorella. Now and the other thing, the trouble with the Lyme, as you know, is they go through growing seasons. So you might want to do a 2 or 3 week cycle of the stevia and the chlorella, and then wait a week or two and then start back again, because to pull toxins of any kind, lead, mercury, radiation, or mites, Lyme, bacteria, you need at least 30 tablets of the chlorella. Now, if you just want the wellness benefits of chlorella, you could take 5 or 10 a day, and that's plenty. But if you don't have enough to pull it out and chelate it all the way out, it doesn't work. And a lot of people don't want to take, although quite honestly, I have about 100 or 150 chlorella tablets every day, and I have for 12 years. So there's no upper limit, and it just feeds my mitochondria, it feeds my health, feeds my brain. I mean, seriously, it's good stuff. But not everybody, and I don't have to pay for mine. So there you go. So so if you don't want to, invest a huge amount of money, but although I would urge you, if you are ill in any ways, what's the cost of health, right? sure beats going to the hospital and getting a bill for $200,000 or something. So invest in your health. Try the chlorella. If you have any questions or doubts about it, you can go to Amazon and buy this little pouch for $4.
Okay.
And then come back to the website, because we have a 20% discount code for your community that we want to share.
Yes.
So that's the good thing. But yeah, that's the protocol for Lyme is the.
Okay.
I mean, if you have other suppliers, know of the people that will sell, physician grade stevia tincture. So it's not the stevia that you buy in Whole Foods.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be this
different, guys.
And I know you mentioned it, but I'm going to say it as well.
Yeah.
I am not a doctor, and I'm not qualified to give medical advice. All I'm doing is sharing with you the knowledge I have acquired and the experience I have seen and done with you. And you need to make your own choices, and always do it with, your practitioner's approval and participation. So we don't want anybody to come off their meds or do anything crazy.
No.
But keep an open mind, because when you think about it, this has been used in other countries for 70 years. And I decided it was time that other parts of the world enjoyed the same benefits that the Japanese and the Taiwanese have been enjoying for a long time. So
awesome. Well, thank you for bringing it to our world, if you will. My sister's Japanese, and I know all about culture.
Oh yes.
Yep. So, yep. And it's interesting that, like, when you're talking about the diseases that they have and we have, like, they don't have Lyme over there.
No.
She's like, what's Lyme? When I first got Lyme, it's like, there's certain things that they just don't have. And I'm like, what? Isn't that everywhere? I mean, I'm sure there is some, anomalies. There are some that bring it, but maybe it's not from Japan, but so awesome. Okay. So we're going to wrap this up. This is amazing information. I am super excited. I'm going to get my energy bits in today. And so tell everybody again, so how can they get their hands on these?
Yes. So our website is energybits.com, ENERGY, B for boy, I, T for Tom, S for Sam.com, energybits.com. And we have a 20% discount code. So when you put something in the shopping cart, you'll see a discount code box, and type in Health Coach Tavia.
Yes.
All one word, Health Coach Tavia.
Yep.
And you'll get 20% off. Now, anything that you buy. Now, I do want to point out that I don't want people to have sticker shock when they come to the website. Remember, this is very efficient nutrition. And using that quote that I have from NASA that says 1 gram of algae has the same nutrition as 1,000 grams of vegetables. So our large bags have 1,000 tablets in them.
Wow.
And on our website, they sell for $120, although with your 20% discount, it brings it down to $96.
Perfect.
But what I want you to know is that using that equation, I discovered that our bags of algae tablets have the equivalent of 551 pounds of vegetables, the nutrition of 551 pounds of vegetables.
Amazing.
Now at $3 a pound, that would have cost you, $15 or $100, right?
Yeah.
So not only are you saving money because it's got the same nutrition, but think about it. That's 551 pounds of vegetables you didn't have to carry home from the grocery store or clean or cook or eat or fight with your kids to eat. So, and there's no waste. We have to put an expiry date on the bags or anything. And it's usually 2 or 3 years, but algae is the most unusual crop. It never goes bad. It never dies when it's growing, and it never goes bad. So there's zero waste. I eat a lot of vegetables myself, but sometimes I can't get to everything. And the arugula goes yellow and the cucumbers go soggy. And so I hate throwing stuff out, but it happens. You'll never waste any algae because it never goes bad. You could keep it for 2 years and 10 years, so it doesn't matter. It still would have all of the nutrition in it. And since you're swallowing it, it doesn't affect the flavor. And there is no repeat, by the way. I tried for years to take fish oil, but I couldn't bear it because I would burp it up, half an hour later. And by the way, if anyone has not yet seen the Netflix movie Seaspiracy, it's spelled SEASPIRCY. I urge you to watch it. It's all about how the commercial fishing industry is destroying the ocean ecosystem. And the reason I mention it is not only is it a great movie, but twice in the movie, they point out that the solution is to eat algae. First of all, because it has 3 times the amount of protein as the fish, number one. And number two, a lot of the fishing is being done to get the omega-3 out of in the fish oil.
Right.
And they point out, as I do to people, where do you think the fish get the omega-3 from? They get it from algae. So save yourself the headache. By the way, almost all fish oil is rancid after you buy it.
Yep.
So it's bad for you anyways. It's bad for the oceans. And so we've been in touch with the Seaspiracy people. The executive directors were hoping to try to do something with them together. But anyways, I just want to point out that it replaces so many of your vitamins. Fish oil never goes rancid, never goes bad. I call it not only efficient nutrition, but intelligent food, because you have to be intelligent.
Ooh, I love that.
And it does great things for your brain and for your body. So come and see us at energybits.com.
All right.
You can also, as I said, buy it on Amazon. If you have Prime shipping, that's great. Okay. And we're very active on social media. We have 2 handles, one Energy Bits for Instagram, and we also have one for Beauty Bits, which is very girly and pink and cute. So we just want people to be healthy naturally. Now that COVID is starting to recede a little bit, it's time to celebrate, get out there, enjoy your vitality.
Yes.
And, we'll hopefully do our best to keep you going.
Absolutely. You are. Oh, I'm so excited. And I hope the listeners out there will check out your website, check out this product, get some samples. If nothing else, go buy, you said it was like $4 on Amazon.
On Amazon. And we do sell a sample pack on our website.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I highly recommend that. I'm going to start taking mine today. I'm super excited. And I know, I just hope everybody gets at least a try. Give it a try. The science makes sense, guys. And I'm just going to point that out. The science makes 100% sense to me. And this is why I was excited to bring Catharine on today, because of the sense it made. And it aligns with a lot of my clients as well that I work with, a lot of the people that are having struggles. It's so simple, and it's so simple to take, like I said, and the simplicity, we need to make things more simple to take rather than I'm not a supplement. You can see supplements back here. That's for my testing stuff. I'm not a pusher of supplements. I'm only if they're needed. But if we can streamline that and get something in you that's going to help you and get you some results. And I'm all about the detoxing. My listeners know that. I'm all about detoxing and digestion. That's a big thing for me. And especially with Lyme, when you're killing off those Lyme bugs, you have what's called a Herx effect. And if you don't get that crud out of you and chelate that out of you, you are going to have a Herx effect. You are going to re-ingest and back into your bloodstream, all those toxins. And so this is a great answer for that. And I'm very grateful for this. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for sharing with your community, because we couldn't get the word out without people like you. So
I'm getting the word out right now, and it's going to go all over.
Go girl. They call me the algae gal, but
algae gal
too.
I love it. Awesome. Any final words before we conclude here?
Just to know that all of the things that we really need to be healthy have been gifted to us by Mother Nature. We just need to take a little bit more time to explore them. Try not to grab just drugs, because they tend to mask. They may put you out of pain, but they don't solve the problem. Things that are like, I tell people, taking algae is sort of, is the difference between falling in love and going to a speed dating. I mean, it's much more meaningful. It may take a little longer to understand, but it will never let you down, and it will make a difference in your life, like a great relationship does. So I hope you fall in love with algae like I have.
Fall in love with algae. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Catharine, for being here. Right. This will be going live soon. I will let you guys know when this is live. And
we'll send you some more tomorrow. We'll ship you some more.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah, we'll talk definitely. And like you said, I know you have a wholesale program and you have an affiliate program for the listeners out there. Yes. Let's not forget that there's an affiliate program. So the listeners can get involved in this too, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything to be an affiliate. You can just recommend the product, earn a little bit of money,
Nice.
know that you're helping people. And we do have a wonderful wholesale program for practitioners, spas, functional medicine. We're starting to work with beauty retailers now. So we can send you samples and tell you tons of information about it. We're the only company in the world helping people understand algae the way we are with beautiful packaging. So it's very inspirational.
Well, I'll be jumping on that wholesale program and I'll be sharing the love. So,
okay. All right. Great. We'll get you some info. Good stuff.
Sounds great, Catherine. All right. Well, have a wonderful day. Again, thank you for being on the show. And
Thanks.
Everybody out there, have an amazing day and take care of you. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Sweet Life Coaching Podcast. To learn more about the topics mentioned on today's show, please visit sweetcoachtavia.com.